What's going on, gang? Welcome back into Lights Out Gaming. For those of you that are new here, my name is Mike, and what we're going to be doing today is we are going to be continuing the Tips and Tricks Thursday. This video is going to be brought to you by one of the subscribers, Joe. Thank you for your input and the topic of discussion. He asked, Mike, what can we do to better our aim while in air jumping? Because it's a different game than a regular Call of Duty where you're just kind of walking, strafing side to side. It's jumping, there's dashing, there's everything, okay? So what I did is I developed an exercise that you can do to determine the best sensitivity for you. Now, I know personally before I started doing YouTube and things like that, I used to watch my favorite YouTubers and wonder, what sensitivity are they using? That's the one that I need to use. Now, as I started to try and do that and figure everything out, I realized that everybody should have their own sensitivity. Don't go by what your favorite YouTuber does. Don't go by what your friends tell you to do. Do what makes you feel good. Now, like I said, in today's video, I'm going to give you an exercise to do, and it's going to help you determine what sensitivity you should be on and what one's best for you. Now, these can always be adjusted. However, this is going to be a good measuring stick to where you're at. So let's get into it. Okay guys, so here we are in the private match menu. What you do is you sign into Xbox Live, you go into multiplayer, go into private match. Now what you're going to need is you're going to need someone else there, like Tabby. I have Tabby signed in under her profile, and I have me signed in. So we are both here in the lobby. What you're going to do is you're going to go into game setup, you're going to pick the map. I chose Instinct because I wanted to make sure that we have some long distance areas to show exactly what we're going to be practicing. Put it on free for all. You do not have to put on any bots because it's just going to be you two in the lobby for now, and then we're going to move on to add bots later. But you're going to go into the options, and I have it as custom. I put it up to score limit 50 because I wanted to demonstrate things inside here. And then you're going to go into general settings, spawn settings, health and damage. Health and damage, this is important. Go in there and change the health to 200%. This is important because we want to make sure that we're able to stay on target longer than we normally would in a game, just to make sure our aim is on point and we can stay on point. So that's an important one. Make sure you change the health to 200%. Outside of that, just change your classes however you'd like to set them up. Just set it up as the guns you would use in a normal match. Okay? And now what we're going to do is we are going to jump in, and I'm going to see you once the game loads. Okay, so these exercises that we're doing inside of these lobbies, you're going to mess around with it and you're going to find something that you're like, okay, I think it's going to work. And then we're going to move on to play against bots with the 200% health. Now, basically the idea of this is just so that you get the feeling down of playing on a certain sensitivity. Now, like I said, I want you to start at 15, then go down to 1. Move up from there, down from there, whatever way you want to make it work, but I want you to feel comfortable in your aim. Now, just know that the right stick, that doesn't change anything about your movement speed. A lot of people think sensitivity changes how fast you move. It does not. All it does is it changes how fast you turn. So if you want to consider that moving, you can, but all it does is changes how it affects your aim, okay? So when I come up here, I put Tabby on this head glitch up there because that's where a lot of people will sit on this map, so it's a good gauge because it's hard to keep accuracy there. So right now I have the options, I have it on a 10 because I'm putting it right in the middle. I'm testing this out, and then we're going to go into a game of bots after this, but let's see if I can stay on target. Now you see I'm bouncing right around her head, where what I should be able to do is keep it directly solely on her head, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to back away, I'm going to go options down, and I'm going to lower it to, we'll do a 7 because it's still considered high. I think a 7 is almost as high as you should play on. I mean, if you can play higher, great, but I just don't find many situations where you need to turn on someone too often. I'd rather have the aim in my favor. So Tabby's back to full health. Let's see if I can lock on her. Alright, so that was better. I was locked underneath her, and it was like spraying all along the bottom. I was kind of missing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to this side to see if I can get a different spray pattern, just so you guys can see where I'm shooting at when that happens. Let's see if I can get her now, because she's on a head glitch. Alright. Now you see my aim's pretty consistent there. Like, I am just off. I'm off a little bit, and it seems like I'm holding it right there, but I might be able to dip this down just a little bit more, just so that I don't overcompensate when I go to aim. So let's go. I'm here. That is a hell of a head glitch. I'll just say that. You can kind of see from this, but my aim, it feels like it's spot on here. You see, I'm just missing because I'm like, she's got nothing showing. But you can see my sensitivity is a lot better here than it was on 10 when I was missing a lot over the head. You can see even on this little spray how much wider the spray is there, while it's very concentrated on this side. So let's get Tabby over to a different head glitch that I can try and do this on. Alright, so I put Tabby a little bit further away this time, and you can see she's down there. Alright, she's down there. It's pretty tough to hit somebody from that far away, but if we can get our aim down at 200%, now you see that I'm a little bit off there, but I'm doing pretty well. Now we want you to be able to consistently hit that target. Alright, we want you to be able to snap on. Alright, so while sensitivities, it's fit to your playstyle, remember there are limitations to what your thumbs can do. I mean, some people have a better touch than others, and it's nothing against you, it's just the way you're built. So me, I find it comfortable to play on like on this game I've been playing on a 4 sensitivity, sometimes a 5 depending on the gun I'm using. And that's another thing that you should know. If you're primarily a SMG player, you shouldn't be getting in very many long-range gunfights, and you're going to be in close quarters quite a bit. So you might need to turn on someone a lot more than someone that uses the AK-12 quite a bit. Now, if you're an assault rifle player, lower your sensitivity a little bit, just because you should be at longer range gunfights. If you find yourself getting in gunfights that you are indoors a lot, you're not playing to the strengths of your gun very well. So I'd say lower your sensitivity a little bit for assault rifles, up it for shotguns and SMGs. And if you're playing with a sniper, you want it depends on what kind of sniper you are, to be honest. I'm not even going to get into that, but shotguns, SMGs, higher sensitivity, assault rifles a little bit lower, because you need that longer range control. Alright, so she's back here. She's obviously at full health by now. So let's see if I can get her there. Now you see I'm bouncing around a little bit, so that's why what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and I'm going to change it down to a 5, because if I change it there, I should be able to lock on and hold it there. Okay, so I'm there. I'm still a little high, still a little bit. Alright, so she didn't get back to full health. I should have let her do that there. So let's get her respawned in. Okay, so we all know that everybody loves these head glitches on this map Instinct. There's head glitches all over every single map, but it's finding the ones that are most obvious, right? So right now, my sensitivity, I have it on a 5 still, okay? So I'm going to try and hit that, because like I said, I usually play on a 4, maybe a 5. 5's usually when I'm playing with an SMG. So right now I'm using the BAL. Let's see if I can keep it on 5 and hit her from here. Now, I'm still bouncing around more than I would like, so this is where it comes down to, where these are most of the gunfights you get into, so you want to be as accurate as possible. So me, I'm used to playing on a 4. Tabby should be back at full health right now. And as you can see, that was a lot better. So if you went back and looked at me on, I can keep that aim there pretty steadily, so because I'm used to a 4. So if I wanted to get used to a 5, I probably could get a little bit better with it, but 4 is kind of where I've settled in. I know some people actually play on a 1, which a 1 is way too slow for me, but if you're talking about accuracy, I'll put it on a 1 just to show you what I mean. This thing is a beam, like it doesn't move very much at all. You just seen where all those bullets, and that was a pretty long range, but you can also see where my spray was up to the left. So me with a 4, it didn't make much difference. So if I sprayed there, or if I sprayed there, you can see it didn't make too much difference. So that means to me, 4 is my sweet spot. So this is an SMG. Alright, so I'm going to spray these. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spray these walls. Let's see if I can keep it on a certain dot. Alright, so I'm going to aim for that dot right there with this, okay? That one right there. We're still on a 1, aren't we? Alright, so we're on a 1. So I'm going to aim for that dot right there. Alright, so that is my spray with a 1 sensitivity. So let's go and change it to a 4, because that's what I typically play on. Alright, so now if I'm going to aim for, let's see, what should I aim for? I'm going to aim for that one right there, that little dot. Alright, so let's say I'm going along. Now if you look at the spray patterns, okay, there's that one there, there's that one there. This one, yes, while it is a little bit better than that one, it's not so much where literally it's going to, it's not going to change much, to be honest with you. Now, if I wanted, let's change this, let's go up to a 10, and I'm going to show you the difference between a 10. Now, what you want to do is figure out a good mixture between that, and then, alright, so this one, I'm going to try and hit this D on there, okay, let's try and do that. Alright, so if you look at that and look at that, those are some pretty big differences, am I right? Now between that and that, those aren't too big a difference. So you can see the big difference where it goes. What you have to do is find that fine line in between and be able to stick to it. And once you mess around in here for a little while, you might find that 6 is your perfect sensitivity. So then what you do from there is we're going to back out and we're going to go and play against bots on that sensitivity with 200% health. So let's go in and do that. Okay, so here we are in the private game, and this is against bots, against 200% bots, 200 health. I'm sorry, 200% bots. 200% health bots, alright? And I feel like my sensitivity is way too high. As you can see, oh, I just realized I did not change it back from 10 when we were doing that testing on the wall from earlier. So you can see, 10 I can try and play with all I want, but it is not working out for me. Jesus. Yep, that's definitely not going to work. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to not do that. Change down to, let's go to 1, because I just want to show you the different, oh, yeah, I'm going to die there. Alright, so I went down to 1 because I want to show you guys how slow the movement is. Alright, and that was nice. I finished up that guy's kill. Oh. Now this is nice to aim with, but now you see I almost try to drag the aim and it takes too long to drag it, so I don't like the 1 sensitivity. It's actually too low because I don't feel like I'm sacrificing anything in with my movement, but I feel like I'm moving through mud. So I'm gonna go ahead and change it to 4 because this is what I think I'm used to. Oh. Alright, I still feel like I'm moving a little bit kind of slow actually after playing with it on 10, but you gotta try it out because, like I said, you have to play with it for a little while. You have to get used to every sensitivity that you play on. You can't just say, oh, I give up on it just because I do, but you have to find the one that works right for you. Whoa. We're gonna move it up to 5. Let's check out 5. Let's see if that works better for me. Alright. That worked well. Alright. See, so I snapped on target there. Like, that worked out pretty well. Like, I'm pretty happy with that. Let's... So, like I said, you're going to play around with this, and my aim does not mean that your aim is going to work the exact same. So I want you to play around and use the one that you use. Don't use 4 or 5 just because that's what I use. Use it because it's what fits your playstyle. Like I said, you want to be able to maximize the sensitivity as high as you can go, but you do not want to sacrifice your aim because of it, because your aim is more important than turning on someone. Now, as cool as it looks to turn on someone and get a kill, how often does that happen in a game? Not very many. Every single gunfight you're in matters a lot more than that. So, I hope you enjoyed this video today. Like I said, this is just like a tip that I can give you that I've done myself to kind of help try and figure out my sensitivity. But now that I've been playing the game for quite a long time, I feel like I might be able to move it up to 5 just because I'm used to the sensitivity of the game, and it would just help. As long as I'm not sacrificing my accuracy, I'll figure out in-game, but mess with it. But remember, just don't try and do something just because a friend's doing it, or, you know. Like I said, that long distance right there, that's why I think I play on a 4, but it might just take me a little bit of time to get used to. I think I'm going to try and stick with a 5 for a little bit, and kind of see where it goes. But the main tip of this video, remember to move while you're doing this, because obviously sitting still, anybody can do that. But that's why it's important to play in a game of bots. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Try it out. Let me know what sensitivity you play on, if it helps you at all. And I guess, yeah. I guess we will see you next time. Lights out.